Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season Trace. We're picking up right where we left off, working on our Vrauks food, which required sodium hydroxide, or, well, no, cellulose required sodium hydroxide, I believe. And I think that means we now are good to go on the Vrauks food ingredients. So now we can head back to where we're planning to make that. And yeah, I guess the question is, how do I want to do this? Do I want to request more stuff to this station? Do I want to just make it a new station? Because I could belt out a lot of different ingredients. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pretty easily go to the side here. I could move this over. And then I could make a bunch of different types of food up there. I kind of like that better, to be honest. Let's do that. So, copy this. We'll maybe make it a bit more space efficient once it's all built. But yeah, Spelenin's gonna come here. Let me do that, and then regular flora comes back out like this. Okay. And are we? We are not. There we go. Now there are bots coming to deliver all that. And then as far as this, I'm thinking like, yeah, that's gonna look a lot tighter. So I can even go one more. Now those are lined up. I can go there, and those are lined up, and then probably even have all the inserter stuff on the bottom side so that there's nothing poking out on that side. I just want to be able to like copy paste this is what I'm thinking. So you know we've got something like this. Okay. Anyway, that's Spelenin, and now I'm gonna request a bunch more things. Why don't I bump up the request threshold to 10? And we're gonna, well, I only have 144 slots, so let me slow down here and think for a moment. We're gonna be making a lot of types of food. Alright, let's cancel a couple things here. So thing number 1 is we're gonna go bigger. We're gonna do a triple. Thing number 2 is we're gonna bump those requests up to 11 stacks of everything. Because the amount requested has to be greater than. Still 1 stack of ash, though. Which is overridden to be a 1 stack threshold. It is confusing that this one has to be negative and that one has to be positive. You just got to remember that. But now we can do filtered loaders out, and I can have 1, 2, 3, 4 easily coming out, and then I can do a couple more that like go underground into that spot. So, and I will split filters per lane. So I can set up a bunch of different items here. Beep, 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 beep. Now, the annoying part about this is the flora spoiling. The flora spoiling part is kind of obnoxious. Because we're gonna get spoilage if we put flora on the belt. So I may need... How many different types of food require flora? Worker food requires flora, Ulrich food requires flora, and Aug food requires flora as well. So we'll probably just make all of those over here, and they'll all have like an output that comes back. Why is this landfill not done yet? Oh man. I guess we've got some dead space. We probably need like a random charger out here. Because they're trying to get all the way across this gap. We're gonna keep seeing that problem over time. Alright, anyway. That will get done eventually, but... yeah, so here come 8 different things that we can use to make worker food. And... starch is required for 2 of them. Starch is going to be annoying to produce. I don't want to talk about that right now. I just don't want to do it because we're going to have to do powdered Ralasia seeds. We're going to have to do the fiberboard thing, and the fiberboard is a whole mess. For this one, though, we're going to need seaweed and limestone and wood, which we already have. So let's do seaweed. Limestone, I guess we can make locally. What kind of rate are we talking here? Like... oh, sorry, sodium hydroxide. Right. We're not doing the limestone one. What if we were, though? If we were, it would actually be a significant amount. This is the kind of thing that makes me think maybe limestone should be. Because if I only need 1 limestone a second, I don't want to make 2 soil extractors. If it's always 1 soil extractor, I don't mind as much, but that makes me feel like maybe shipping it around isn't crazy. Soil is a little different, because soil I feel like it makes... and I could be wrong about this. Isn't soil faster than limestone, or are they the same? Yeah, soil is 5 times faster than limestone per soil extractor, which means that, you know, in terms of items per second, you're moving a lot of items per second on trains when 1 soil extractor could do the work. Whereas here, if we need 2 items per second, that's 5 soil extractors. That might be better on a train. Anyway, it's good to have that kind of figured out. And now we need to request hydroxide. Do we need anything else? We've got wood. Do we have Fawoji? We do. And tin. Okay. So then we're gonna have to make these two locally, as well as the seeds. Okay. Huh. Just thinking about what to do with two spoilable ingredients. It's just kind of a mess. Yeah, this is what I want. I just want this to be a multi-provider. Because we're gonna have different things coming in here. Okay, so that's still hooked up to that. And then that's hooked up to this. Okay. So that should still work properly. That one. Uh-oh. Whoa. That was a yikes moment. The boy who lived. That was so close. It's only a matter of time, folks. It is only a matter of time. Alright, so this is foodstuffs provide. Okay, we're getting there. What do we want to do now? So I don't really know exactly how I want to arrange all of this. Kind of like a bus for food. And then maybe on the left side, we'll kind of just do stuff on both sides and we'll need splitters and stuff. I don't know. It'll just be like classic bus style stuff. I don't know exactly. Let's do Flora left and Fawoji. Tin can be somewhere in the middle with wood. Then we're gonna have ash and I guess Ralasia. And then we'll need seaweed and hydroxide. Now we should have a train filling up on Flora. Good, we do. By the way, how's this working out for us? Seems to be working. These are all around 2 hours right now. Okay, but now we're gonna have these spoiling on the belt, which is super annoying. Ugh. I don't know, man. I don't know if I like all this. So this is gonna be tree seed. I always want to call them wood seeds or wood chips, because they look like wood chips. If you really zoom in, you can kind of see that they look like seeds, but zoomed out a little bit, it just looks like wood chips. So this is Ulrich food. And we also need steam. What's the rate of that? I mean, the rate is pretty low. I feel like I could make some extra steam over here and just call it a day. And then we can like pipe steam around to the various buildings. I didn't mean to deconstruct that. I just wanted to rotate it. I need to craft a few more of these bad boys. Okay, so this guy is gonna need pretty much everything. And then we're gonna need another. This is the spoilage getter ridder of her. Spallinen. Okay. So that's done. Get rid of spoilage. Tree seeds. Get fed in. Need power. And now we need to do some shenanigans with belts and long inserters. I think that's good enough. We might need 2 inserters here. Alright. Now, Ulrich food is a go. And there will be another food comes to meet it, which will be Vrauks food. And Ulrich food's on the right side, so right. You know what? I should do connected. That way, if I were to delete one of them, it wouldn't. Oops. What am I trying to do? That. And because this is a multi-provider, I want to do this. That's what I wanted to filter to the right. And then this is going to be Vrauks food. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Go to 3 locked slots just in case. All right, now we're gonna have a little bit of a bigger build because I need some high pressure furnaces. I've like forgotten how to do normal stuff. Where are my high pressure furnaces? I think I'm out of, yeah, I'm out of something important. Stone brick. Very important thing, this stone brick. And I probably should fill up on other stuff too. Pipes, inserters. You know what? Loaders are actually looking okay. Underground belts, I like to have 3 stacks. Regular belts, I like to have more than that. Steel chests. Pumps, I'll take a bunch to have and to hold. And then air cores are actually fine. Power poles. Barrels I don't need. Get rid of a lot of random stuff here. Though I do... Oh, and let me get more pipes while I'm here. I was gonna say, I do want to put that mouse food into the proper place. And grab more. That way we have enough cotton gut pups for Mark II-age when I want to do the Mark II-age. So down here, we fill this one with all that food. And what are we at right now? Oh yeah, things are looking great. We've got 624 already. And I wanted to stop at 1,000. Why stop at 1,000? Let's stop at 1,200. Fish eggs, biocrud system seems to be working properly as well. For now, at least. So that's good. And I never got stone brick, which is the whole reason I came back. That sounds about right for a Krydax mall shopping trip. I think I also wanted to check on plates. I'm pretty much out of iron. That's not iron. Okay. This is too loud. The shed opening noise is too loud, folks. We gotta turn that down. I should probably report it, but I'm too lazy. Too lazy. Oh yeah, we needed to make high pressure furnaces. That was the point of all this. And actually need a decent amount, probably 2 and 3. Maybe I'll just do 2 and 2. How much Vrauk food are we actually talking here? Like, in the ultimate version, we're talking 0.4 a second. That is quite a bit, but I don't think we're going to be there for a while. Or we're going to need that many Vrauks for a while. But it would be nice to have that as an option. So, 0.4 is pretty... Okay, maybe I do need to build 3 and 4. Which means I need 7 HPFs. So... I'll leave some space for belting of other things around here, so we'll start like maybe here. And we're gonna need to do cellulose. And then we're gonna need to do agar. Now agar is problematic. It's a 5-minute decay time. The good part is it only costs seaweed. Which is nice. So like in terms of cost, if it's wasted, it's not super big. I might throw one more up here because that kind of takes a lot of steam. And then wood and hydroxide. Where's the other cellulose recipe? Oh, this is the wrong building. I'm a dummy. I'm not a dummy because I plugged it in that way here because I was curious about the thing, but then I forgot to change it back. I need a biofactory. Much better. And then the cellulose is only a 10-minute decay time. So we will get some biocrud out, probably. And not really sure what to do with that. Biocrud, I assume, is going to be globally trashed. How easy is biocrud to locally trash? I forget. It doesn't have a burning thing. I have to compost it and then burn the compost, I think, is the only way to locally trash it. Oh, you can just burn it. Okay, so local trashing biocrud, it can just burn, or we can compost it and then burn it with the biomass as fuel. So like if I don't have another fuel source. So the question is, do I want to ever have a global You know what I need to do? We've got our radar list, and now I need global trash list. Because this is going to be really important for me to know which things I'm globally trashing or not. Because that changes how I do these provider stations, right? If I have global trashing, I need to do a super trasher for byproducts that are globally trashed. If I don't ever need to global trash it, then I can just... I can do the same thing I did with hydrogen and chlorine, where I just put it on channel 3 and just make it high priority, and that's it. And then the requesters are low priority that are utilizing the thing but not needing the thing. And so then we can provide to the mains, we can provide, well, I guess there's still one slight downside to this. Hold on. Need more trains, yo. And that makes sense, I need more trains. I only have 2 trains, I think. This depot needs to be, where's our train depot? This one? We need to expand this. Anyway, shoot. I cannot find what I'm looking for. Here we go. So with these, I'm forgetting LTN behavior. Shoot. From NaOH. So if you have, I'm pretty sure I'm correct about this. If you have a hungry station that's at a lower priority than another station that's not hungry, the low priority station will get what it wants. The only time priorities matter is if 2 stations are hungry at the same time for the same ingredient, then it will always fulfill all of the hungry higher priority stations first. So the problem with this byproduct thing is, let's say I put biocrud in we're not global trashing it, which means channel 2 isn't a trash network, it's just a byproduct network. So like requesters on channel 2 will basically just be saying, hey, I'll use up whatever's left, you know, whatever the other ones aren't using for these slightly useful other, you know, side products. But the main things that are requesting biocrud, like, they're gonna have higher priority. But the problem is the side product ones are gonna be hungry as well, which means we could end up sending biocrud to the side product producer instead of the main requester if the main requester wasn't hungry when the biocrud became available. Does that make sense? So and as soon as this one's hungry again, then it will definitely get the next delivery. But it creates a little bit of a unfortunate situation where we're not leaving some biocrud back to always deliver to the mains. Which then leads me back to just the classic design of providing a single byproduct in a single station, and then we just change the channel to 3 when we have a certain amount of it. Y'all, I don't even know what's going on at this point. I feel like I have 2 or 3 different options, and I kind of don't like any of them, and that's why I'm getting stuck in these spaces. So I'm just gonna not for a minute here, and we're just gonna keep working on this. So Vrauk food requires the agar, the cellulose, tree seed, which is wood. We need wood up here anyway for the cellulose, so the wood can go, maybe the wood can go like back here. And we can do something like this, and this will be the tree seed. So we've got wood in tree seeds, in cellulose, in biocrud potential in both of those. And then we've got agar, which has seaweed in and agar out. Which also creates biocrud potential. What to do? Well, let's start with tin and wood. We know we're gonna need those. So split, bring that over, done. Then, do we need ash? We do not need ash. We definitely do need seaweed and hydroxide though. So we'll do that. I guess it's actually this one that needs it. I mean, that needs the seaweed. And then the hydroxide is needed over there, so that one could go like this. Oops, I'm not allowed to do long inserters of the mechanical variety. I didn't mean to. I promise. Okay, now that's all hooked up to power. And then we need to get hooked up to steam. Actually, perfect, I can do that. And then we need Fuwoji. Fuwoji and moss. Oh, I never got moss going over here. We need to get moss requested. Moss. All right, so moss is coming up here. And we need that one. Moss And the pYanodons, which I think what I'm gonna do is actually take off the pYanodons with a filtered inserter, because then we don't have to deal with like little bits of flora spoiling in weird places. And then moss is going to be on the left of this. So we'll do something like that. Oops. Something like that. And then we've got these two buddies just trucking along. Okay. Cool. So that's that. And then finally we need the agar, and that'll be good to go. So we do want to control these buildings. And we need a biocrud outlet. I think this is going to work pretty well. All together. Because there's a biocrud, there's a biocrud, and there's a biocrud. So all the places biocrud can end up, which is the end of that belt, inside this building, and inside this building. Those are the only places biocrud should ever be able to exist. Technically, it can be inside these buildings as well, but that will end up on the belt. So I'm not worried about that. Then we want to run all of these buildings based on the Vrauks food output. Yeah, I'm back to the whole biocrud, chlorine, hydrogen, all that stuff. I think I'm back to realizing this isn't gonna work. Because if we have a main hydrogen producer, right? Somewhere is producing hydrogen as its main output. Assuming it's a big enough hydrogen plant, it will always have hydrogen available. Always. Even if it's provided at a low priority, it will always be available. Which means the moment a main requester of hydrogen says, hey, I want hydrogen. If this one doesn't have hydrogen provided, then it'll get eaten up. The main one will use it. Which then means most of this hydrogen is going to end up going to the side product producers. However, I guess that's okay as long as the side product producers back up eventually, because they're not trashers. So maybe that's okay. But in a weird way, in most cases, because the side product producer is hungry as well, I guess it will have sort of an equal priority, because priorities don't matter if the timings don't line up. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people get wrong. I've received multiple comments both on YouTube and in LTN world and in CyberSyn world, where it's like, well, I just provided at a higher priority, or I just requested at a lower priority, or whatever. And it's like, that doesn't really matter. If you always have an item available here, and you only sometimes have an item available here, and you have a requester that the moment it comes online, if this guy doesn't have anything available, it's requesting it from this guy. Doesn't matter what priority it's provided at. And so in this case, what we're not wanting is our main, you know, let's say we have some byproduct flowing in every minute here. So every minute we get some byproduct flowing in here. But then we have our side product maker, and it's hungry, so it requests from there. And then a minute later, this one's hungry, And now it can't request from here because this one doesn't have enough. So then it requests from the main. What we would have preferred is that the byproduct one sat there for a minute and then provided to the main. Because the main should be higher priority than the side product. And none of what I just said, these could all be any priority in the world and the same scenario would have happened. There's no way to prevent it with using the priority system. Because the priority system is not it doesn't care about timing. Or I should say it's irrespective of timing. Like, it's not like a higher priority thing is gonna be like, oh, well, that means you should wait to provide to lower priority things until I have a need. It never does that. It doesn't do that. So what I'm saying is, if we want the side product maker to be a lower actual priority in the time sense, and the time sense matters, right? Because it's like, things rarely end up on the exact same time. Right? Usually this will be hungry or this will be hungry. It's rarely going to be both at the same time, unless they're both starving for the product in the first place. And if they're both starving for the product in the first place, that means our main producer for the main requester is not online anyway, and that's a problem. Usually, an ideal base, the main producer is stocked up, which means these are never both going to be hungry at the same time because this hunger is going to get fulfilled immediately by this one. This hunger will not get fulfilled by this one because they're not on the same network mask. This is only on channel 2. So what we need to do is just the system that I've talked about 100 times, where we just turn it onto channel A. We add 2 to A when we have enough of this. So this is always providing to the mains until it has enough, and then it provides to both. That's the main way to do it. The other way to do it is just say, who cares? They both need a backup eventually. But the problem is if the side product is like getting utilized as well at a higher priority, then you're kind of like prioritizing the byproduct to go to the side product if the side product is always flowing out to be used at a higher priority than some other main ingredient. So I do think, unfortunately, the only solution is a full-on super trasher, which we already designed and we know how that works, which is basically the same idea as adding 2 to A when things get to a certain amount, but it's just done in a multi-provide way. So we either need a super trasher or we need one station per ingredient that's using this system. I think that is my final word on the matter. If you disagree with my reasoning or logic or don't understand it, please feel free to comment or ask. I could be wrong about something. That is very possible. But I'm pretty sure that those are the only 2 ways to do this properly. This way is not going to work. This is going to provide to my side product makers at a higher clip than I want it to. And there's no easy way. We played with this in the last episode, or I guess it was 2 episodes ago. We played with the idea of like, well, what if I like somehow turned it onto channel 3 and told it we only had chlorine just for a minute until something I don't think that's worth it. I think we just do separate stations or we do a super trasher. That's it. Oh look, we're already getting biocred. Wonderful. How did biocred end up? Oh, these need to be filtered. Whoops. Did I not just... Oh, I didn't hit use filters. There we go. And then we want to be backed up to here. So these only run if Vrauk food is less than... What's it called? Oh, that's such a bummer. Okay, never mind. But someone was talking about when you hold control, it lets it be an item that you can just place. Like if you're holding an entity and you hold control, then you know it's not actually placing the entity. But it also doesn't let you click on buildings. I was hoping that I would be able to like have an entity to use as a filter. You know how I like to like pipette things into filters. But the problem is you can't click on the building to open it while you're holding control. So if you're holding an entity, there's still no way to open the building to set the filter while you're holding. Unless... No, that's not it. Unless there is, and I'm not understanding how to do it. Anyway. So all that to say, I hope you guys enjoy all this talk about train stuff. Because what we're gonna need is a provider station that adds 2 to A. When something is greater than something. BioCrud is greater than... And I could measure it in stacks. Let's go with a pretty consistent 3,000. No, that's not good either. 2,500? Because that's 50. No, because even then, shoot. It really depends on the stack size. Interesting. I can parameterize based on the stack size of the parameter. Oh, never mind. We'll be fine. Yeah, that works. Okay, so now I need a byproduct station going each direction as well. That's gonna be fun. Anyway, this just gets connected into all that business. Because what I essentially want is 30 stacks. So this is BioCrud from foodstuffs. Provide. Merge. We need some more space here. Load that in. And then we locally trash it, I think. We still have to locally or globally trash. If I globally trash, that works fine. Composters are big. That's why I'm considering... I mean, these things are huge, yo. That's why I'm considering a global trash of BioCrud, is because this thing is a bit of a chonk. But, you know, it'll work. So we would just do output priority right. And then this would get fed in. And then we'd have a boiler. Wait. Yeah. And a boiler will run. See, this isn't as small as it looks, because then you need the boiler to run, but then you need water from a pump jack to run the boiler. The other option would be to use a burner to burn the BioCrud and use the... But then... which way's better? I don't actually know. Because compost is... Or biomass, I mean, is 250 kilojoules a piece. But the BioCrud would burn at 5 per second. Or whatever it is. Because burners are faster, I think, than a speed of 1. Isn't that right? Doesn't show us the speed here. There, yeah, their crafting speed is 5. So, but the recipe time is 1.5 seconds, so it's really like 3-ish seconds. Anyway, or 3 per second, I should say. So we could also just have a burner here, and we load biocrud. I mean, that's probably easier than this. So that loads with biomass, and this loads with biocrud. And if we end up with too much biocrud in here, if the biomass is backed up, this should work. One way or another, biocrud's going bye-bye. Bio-bye. Anyway, this whole system is nonsense. I hope you guys agree. I hope you can agree this game is crazy. And I love it. But I also sometimes am a little bit overwhelmed by it. Alright, Vrauk food is a go. What crazy nonsense did we get ourselves up to in this episode? Good stuff though, good stuff. Vrauk food is going, and we're stocking up to 1,000 of that as well. What was my request threshold for Ulrich food? 5 stacks? Cool. Okay. I'm actually happy with all of this. I'm gonna get rid of couple things I don't need here. I am reasonably happy with all of these things. I do think I'll move to 12 stacks. The reasoning is because there's so many different, well, nah. I'll just leave it. We'll change it if we have a problem. For now, we don't have a problem, so I won't change it. I was thinking we might need that one. Whoa, that's crazy. A 90-degree... I mean, it is exactly double the speed, so that sort of makes sense. That a fast inserter is... But it's weird because it's not double the speed of a straight one. So it's weird that that's what lines up. The sideways speed of... Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of odd. Because the straight ones don't line up to be double. But somehow those do. Anyway, Vrauk food is rolling. So we'll be working on Vrauk Mark II and improving our Vrauk situation in the next episode. But for now, as always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next one.